Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Easy Chat English podcast. I'm Amelia.
And I'm Ethan. Today, we have an exciting topic for all of you who are learning English. We're going to talk about how to improve your speaking skills on your own.
You know, speaking in a new language can be super challenging, especially when you don't have someone to practice with every day. I remember when I started learning English, I felt like I was stuck. I wanted to speak better, but I just didn't know how to practice alone.
I totally relate. I used to get so nervous when I had to speak English, even when I was just talking to myself. But then I found a few tricks that helped me improve, and I started feeling more confident. Today, we'll share some of those tricks with you so you can practice speaking even when you're by yourself. Let's get started.
Our first tip is simple but really effective. Speak out loud daily. Even if you don't have anyone around to practice with, you can still get into the habit of speaking English.
That's right. You can start by reading short passages or articles out loud. It might sound strange, but it helps a lot with pronunciation and getting used to hearing yourself speak in English.
I remember I used to read the news out loud every morning, just a paragraph or two. At first I felt silly, but it really helped me get comfortable with how English sounds. Plus, I learned a lot of new words.
And you don't have to read long text. You could even read the back of a cereal box or a short story. The key is to focus on speaking slowly and clearly. As you get more comfortable, you can try speaking a little faster.
Yes, it's like exercising your speaking muscles. And if you're consistent, you'll see improvement over time. So, give it a try. Read something out loud each day, even if it's just for a few minutes.
Our second tip is recording yourself. This might feel a bit awkward at first, but trust me, it's a game changer.
Definitely. When you record yourself, you can hear what you sound like and identify areas where you can improve. It's like being your own coach.
Exactly. Here's a simple way to start. Pick a topic you like, maybe your favorite hobby, a movie you watched recently, or even what you did today. Record yourself talking about it for 1 to 2 minutes.
And when you listen back, don't be too critical. Focus on small things like your pronunciation or if you're speaking clearly. Remember, it's about progress, not perfection.
When I first started doing this, I noticed that I spoke too quickly and sometimes mumbled. But after a few weeks of practice, I felt much more confident and I could hear my own improvement.
And you'll start to notice patterns in your speaking, like words you use often or sounds that are tricky for you. It's a great way to track your progress. Our third tip is called shadowing. This is when you listen to a native speaker and try to copy what they're saying.
It's like being an echo. You listen to a short audio clip and repeat what the speaker says, trying to match their tone, rhythm, and pronunciation.
It's a great way to improve your intonation and learn how native speakers naturally emphasize certain words or phrases. Plus, it helps with pronunciation too.
I used to do this with podcasts. I'd pick a short segment, maybe 30 seconds long, and then play it back several times while repeating along with the host. It felt like I was training my ears and my mouth at the same time.
And you don't need any special tools, just your phone and some audio clips. You can use podcasts, YouTube videos, or even dialogues from your favorite movies.
Start with short clips, then try longer ones as you get more comfortable. It's a fun way to feel like you're having a conversation with a native speaker, even if you're practicing alone. The fourth tip is to use everyday objects around you as conversation starters. It might sound a bit silly, but it's really helpful for thinking in English.
Yeah, this one's great if you don't know what to talk about. Just pick something around you, like a coffee cup, and start describing it. You could say, "This is my favorite coffee cup. It's blue with a white pattern, and I use it every morning."
Or pick up a book and talk about why you like it or what it's about. It's all about getting used to forming sentences in English without having to translate in your head.
I used to do this with random things in my room. I'd pick up a pen and say, "This pen writes very smoothly, and it's my favorite color, blue." It feels a bit odd at first, but it's a great way to practice.
And it helps you get into the habit of thinking in English, which is so important for speaking fluently. Plus, you can practice this anytime, while cooking, cleaning, or even taking a walk.
Next up, let's talk about learning and using set phrases. These are common expressions that you can use in everyday conversations.
Yes, phrases like, let me think, in my opinion, or that's a great question can really make your conversation smoother and more natural.
When I was learning English, I wrote down a few new phrases each week and practiced using them in sentences. For example, if someone asked me a question, I'd say, "That's a good question. Let me think about it."
It's a great way to fill those moments when you're searching for words. And it can help you sound more confident, even if you're still thinking about what to say next.
And you don't have to memorize hundreds of phrases. Just start with a few and use them whenever you can. It's like building a little toolbox for conversations.
Exactly. And the more you use them, the more natural they'll feel. So next time you're stuck, try pulling out one of those phrases. Our last tip is talking to yourself in the mirror. I know it sounds funny, but it's a great way to practice.
It really is. When you look in the mirror and speak, you can see your facial expressions and body language, which is important when you're communicating.
Plus, it helps you get used to speaking confidently. Pretend you're having a conversation with someone about your day, or imagine you're giving a presentation.
I used to do this before job interviews. I'd look in the mirror and practice answering common questions like, "Tell me about yourself," or "Why do you want this job?"
And it doesn't have to be formal. You can just chat about your plans for the weekend or describe how you're feeling. It's all about practicing in a low-pressure environment.
And if you mess up, it's okay. You're the only one who hears it, so just laugh it off and try again.
It's a fun way to build your confidence and get comfortable speaking out loud.
Now, let's talk about some of the challenges you might face when practicing speaking on your own.
Yes, like feeling embarrassed or worrying about making mistakes. I know I used to feel that way a lot.
Me too. But remember, it's normal to make mistakes when you're learning something new. The important thing is to keep going and not let the fear of mistakes hold you back.
Exactly. Focus on being fluent first. It's okay if your grammar isn't perfect. Just try to keep talking and expressing your thoughts. You can always work on accuracy later.
I remember when I used to feel shy about my accent. But then I realized that my accent is just a sign that I'm learning a new language, and that's something to be proud of.
That's such a great point. So if you feel nervous or self-conscious, just remember that it's all part of the process. Be kind to yourself and celebrate the little victories along the way.
And most importantly, don't give up. Consistency is key, and every time you practice, you're getting closer to your goal. Let's quickly recap what we talked about today. We shared 6 strategies to help you improve your speaking skills on your own. Speaking out loud daily, recording yourself, shadowing, using everyday objects to start conversations, learning set phrases, and talking to yourself in the mirror.
And we also talked about some common challenges and how to overcome them. Remember, it's all about progress, not perfection.
Even just a few minutes of practice each day can make a big difference. So don't be afraid to give these tips a try and see what works best for you.
We believe in you, and we're so excited to hear how you're improving your speaking skills.
Thank you so much for joining us today on the Easy Chat English podcast. We hope you found these tips helpful and that you'll try them out.
If you do, let us know how it goes. You can reach out to us on our social media or leave a comment below.
And don't forget to tune in next time, where we'll be talking about going to the gym. It's going to be a fun one.
Until then, keep practicing and remember, you're doing great. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone. Happy learning.